Hi, and welcome to the February edition of Rowlett on the Water on the Move. I'm Todd Gottel, and this show is produced entirely by city staff and can be seen on Rowlett's own television network, RTN 16. You can also find us on the YouTube channel by going to Rowlett Texas Video, and for those streaming video fans, you can go to rowlett.com and watch us anytime. We have got a great show for you today. As you see, I'm standing in front of the community center, and we're going to be doing a follow-up to our initial healthy living segment, where I'm going to be going in and doing a little bit of exercise, and we'll be doing a weigh-in just a little bit later. In addition, and then a little bit later in the show, we're actually going to be going into the kitchen with Amanda. We're going to be talking about our healthy eating as well, and making one of my favorites, chalupas. So let's get started.
Thanks, Todd. We'll hold down the fort here in the studio, and we'll check in on your progress shortly. But first, let's cover a few news topics here at the City of Rowlett. Our first topic is something we cover every month, and it's the Stage 3 water restrictions in Rowlett. Due to below average rainfall and extremely low lake levels, the North Texas Municipal Water District has voted to remain in Stage 3 restrictions. Landscape irrigation is limited to once every 2 weeks based on the physical address, with no watering between 10 a.m. and 6 p.m. This will continue at least through March 31st, 2014. For information on Stage 3 water restrictions and the water schedule for your address, please visit rowlett.com and click on the water restrictions icon. We are asking citizens to continue their water conservation efforts as lake levels around the area continue to drop. The only real solution to the statewide drought is rain, and lots of it. We would also like to thank all the citizens for their patience and cooperation during the cleanup process from the 2013 Ice-Mageddon. To make sure that ice storm debris recovery was completed in a timely manner, the Rowlett City Council approved initiatives to enhance ice storm debris recovery efforts, which includes additional waste management trucks on Wednesdays and Saturdays, utilizing city staff 7 days a week, and additional trucks from Waste Management Storm Chaser crews for 6 days a week. Thank you once again for your patience and cooperation with the storm debris collection. With your help, we can make 2014 the best year ever for our homeless pets. We have some fantastic dogs and cats that want to find good homes. Adoption packages include a wellness check, sterilization, microchip, deworming, and heartworm check. The Rowlett Animal Shelter is located at 4402 Industrial Street. Call them for more details at 972-412-6219. Once again, the Pet Adopt-a-thon is on February 8th from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. On last month's show, we showcased the Rowlett Community Center and ways to stay healthy in 2014. The mayor has taken the very public challenge of getting fit in the new year. During last month's show, we showed him weighing in all his measurements. He's a brave man, and with the help of Rowlett Wellness Coordinator Amanda Mullaney, Todd has been exercising and sticking to a healthy meal plan. Let's go to the community center and see Todd's progress.
Hi, Todd.
Hey, Amanda, how are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing great.
Good to see you. Working out still?
I am actually still working out, doing really well at it.
Good. What kind of cardio have you been doing since I last saw you?
Mainly the elliptical.
Good. I'm proud of you. How many days a week have you been coming?
3 days a week.
3 days a week?
Spending about an hour a day.
An hour a day. Perfect. So you got the cardio down.
Absolutely. I've been doing that and a little bit of the high-impact aerobics. So basically 3 to 4 days a week for about an hour.
Perfect. Well, now that you've kind of got a routine with your cardio, I want to be able to take some time to show you how to do some of the strength training equipment as well.
So one of the challenges, Amanda, when I go to the community center is we have a lot of different pieces of equipment, and I honestly don't know really which one to use. You taught me last time to use the elliptical, and so I've really been kind of focused on that. And you talked about the first month really getting your cardio up, but now we really want to focus on more of the strength training. So tell me a little bit about what pieces. Is there a certain piece that I should focus on, or are they all pretty much the same?
No, each piece of equipment is definitely different, and they have a large variety of equipment to choose from. I would recommend starting with the large muscle groups first, so like your back. And we'll go ahead and jump on the lat pull down.
Okay.
Right here, we'll start with this one first. You're going to get the seat adjusted to where you feel comfortable that your legs are just resting
Perfect.
on that.
Got that.
Choose your weight that you feel comfortable. You want to be able to do this at least 10 to 12 repetitions.
So like 275 pounds, will be okay with you?
Yes.
Okay.
So when you are using the lat pull down, when you are pulling down, you're actually using your lats, and then your secondary muscle is going to be your biceps. So that's kind of the main area that you're focusing on with this piece of equipment, okay?
Perfect.
When you pull this, you only need to come to your shoulders. You don't need to go any further down than just right about at your shoulder height, okay? So let's try this one out.
Great. We've adjusted our weight and we're ready to go. So about shoulder height.
Yep. And you want to slow it down just a little bit. You want it to be on a count of 2 or 3
Like that.
and down.
And 100. 112. 124.
Ideally, when you're first starting out, you only want to do 1 to 2 sets of maybe 10 repetitions. You don't need to, start with 3 sets of 10 repetitions. You want to start small and then work your way up. Have you hit your 10?
I have.
Okay, our second piece of equipment is the chest press. You want to make sure that you have the seat adjusted correctly for you. You want the bars to kind of be at that chest level.
Okay, so when I sit on this, actually, are we okay then? Because these are pretty much at chest level at this point. Okay.
That's perfect.
All right, so I'm going to adjust my weight down there. So done?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then this machine's mostly going to be working your pecs, your chest muscles, and then your secondary muscles are going to be your triceps, the back of the arms
Tell me
from
about
that push.
how many repetitions do we do?
Same, I want you sticking along to that 10 to 12 reps for maybe 1 to 2 sets since this is your first time doing the strength training. I would incorporate the strength training at least twice a week. Okay. And like I said, separate between upper and lower body.
Okay. And is this too slow, too fast?
No, I want you coming all the way back and then extending all the way, getting that full range of motion. Perfect. Slow it down just a little bit. Good. And make sure you're taking your deep breaths. Perfect. And do you feel that in the chest and then secondary in the triceps?
Yeah, you actually feel it up in this area, the shoulder area, and I also feel it back as well.
Perfect.
So this worked out really well because I can actually feel it. So again, how many days a week do you say I need to do this?
2 days a week, and just make sure we only went over the upper body equipment, but there's also lower body equipment available as well. So
now, where do I learn more about this? In other words, if I have some questions, because if I'm new, and I had a couple friends actually that saw our show from last month and said, I went and got a fitness membership from the community center. I joined because I saw your show. The equipment, as I mentioned, can kind of be intimidating.
It can.
So, and you're always not here, of course, to be able to do this. So where do I go to get that help to be able to direct me a little bit?
Anybody at the front desk should be able to help you. Aaron Cleaver runs the gym, so he should be able to help you, give you pointers on how to get set up on equipment.
And maybe even kind of put me a little bit on a plan to be able to do some of that.
Yeah,
terrific. Because there's also the upper body, and I know we didn't talk about that today, but there's the lower body as well to help work your legs and your abs and things like that.
Yes.
So terrific. So what's next?
Okay, let's go weigh you in. You said you've been...
I'm a little scared on that one now. I've been working for a while.
You've been working hard. I gave you a nutrition plan that you've been following since our last taping on the 30th, so a little shy of a month.
So we're here at the dreaded scale. Yeah. This is the thing that most people, they absolutely dread stepping up to the scale to check their progress. But I do believe, I think I've made some progress. I started off at what, 203?
203.
So I started off at 203, and it's been actually less than 30 days. And so we're going to see how we do.
Okay.
All right. So first we're going to check my weight, and then we're going to check the
body fat.
All the body fat. Yeah. Okay. Here we go.
So step on.
All right. Here we go. Drum roll, please.
Awesome. 195.2.
Wow.
Down from 203.
So basically, in about 3.5 weeks, I've lost
7.5 pounds.
7.5 pounds.
More than 7.5 pounds.
Do I get a high five for that?
Yes, you do. You're going to hold this just straight out in front of you. Hands over the sensors.
Oh, sorry.
Hands over the sensors. Here we go. And remember, this is sending electronical impulses through your body, differentiating between the muscle, the bone, and the fat. So this is just strictly checking the fat. Okay, 27.8. When I first saw you, a little 3.5 weeks ago, you were at 29%. So you have dropped.
Wow, that's really great. Okay, and the BMI?
And the BMI, the last time I saw you, was at 27.5.
So I dropped a point on that one too. That's great. That's
So
awesome.
you should be very proud of yourself. Building that lean muscle is going to burn more calories than replacing that with a fat.
And just to make sure we're clear, we continue with the healthy eating as well as working out as well.
Absolutely.
Great.
Absolutely.
Well, I'm anxious to check in next month with you, probably for our one, and then we'll do these a little bit less frequently, but just to see how I'm progressing with the weight training as well, to see how dropping.
Congratulations. I'm very proud of you.
Thank you very much. I appreciate
very
it.
Proud.
That's great.
Way to go, Todd. Keep up the good work. And speaking of good work, the mayor presented the annual State of the City address at the January 21st City Council meeting. He reported on the city's numerous 2013 accomplishments as well as some upcoming challenges for the city. Instead of a standard speech at a podium, we created a 15-minute video that not only tells, but shows the year in review. Here's Mayor Gottel's State of the City address.
Hi, I'm Mayor Todd Gottel, and I'm so pleased to be with you today. You know, the City of Rowlett Charter requires that I provide you, the Rowlett citizens, with an update each year called the State of the City. This address is a wonderful opportunity to showcase projects, events, and progress our great city has made this past year. And what an eventful year it was. December, just over a year ago, Dart Light Rail service began in Rowlett after a 30-year wait. We saw the hiring of our new city manager, Brian Funderburk. Rowlett was named the 19th safest city in Texas. Our bond rating went from AA- to AA, which included a stable financial outlook. And we even got national attention where we were named the best small city in America to move to. That's #1 on the list, folks. These are just a few reasons why Rowlett is a wonderful place to live. So let's go to the studio and get started. We're going to begin with great news about our hometown. As I just mentioned, Rowlett was named the best small city in America to move to. Real estate researchers Movoto created a top 10 list based on demographic and other data collected about cities with populations under 60,000. Their sources included the U.S. Census, the Bureau of Labor Statistics, the FBI, and the real estate market data. Movoto used different criteria: cost of living, crime, median household income, unemployment rate, and median home price. When they crunched all the numbers together, Movoto found that Rowlett was the best small city in America to move to. What an honor. And to think, just a few years ago, Money Magazine ranked Rowlett number 24 on the top 100 best places to live. This is proof that Rowlett is truly on the move. In addition to being designated the best small city in America to move to, there were numerous other programs and events that made 2013 a great year. In fact, it was a challenge to determine what to feature as part of this year's State of the City address. On November 19, 2013, Brian Funderburk was appointed city manager by the City Council. Brian has been with the City of Rowlett since 2003, serving for the last 3 years as Assistant City Manager. Prior to that, he served as the city's Director of Finance and Administration for 7 years. Brian's financial expertise will help lead our city through the tough economic challenges we still face remaining in the next couple of years and prepare us for the economic development growth we see on the horizon. Financial stewardship is probably the single most important element of what we do annually. It is critically important that we as council, along with staff, take good care of your fiscal resources. The fiscal year 2014 budget marked the 9th straight year with no tax increase. Citizens are paying on average $118 less in taxes today than in 2007, yet receiving a higher level of service. In 2014, the average Rowlett taxpayer will pay $2.73 per day for all of the city services they enjoy. Standard & Poor's Rating Services raised the City of Rowlett's GO bond rating from AA- to AA, including a stable outlook. The city met with different rating agencies as we prepared to go to the competitive market for bids on the $7.875 million refunding, and Moody's Services affirmed the city's full AA rating. The City of Rowlett's finance staff has also been recognized with numerous government finance awards. For the second year in a row, the city received the Texas State Comptroller's Office Leadership Gold Circle member. It's the highest award for financial transparency. And for the 9th straight year in a row, the city received the Government Finance Officers Association Certificate of Achievement for Excellence in Financial Reporting. And for the 10th year in a row, the city received the Government Finance Officers Association Distinguished Budget Presentation Award. Also this year, the City of Rowlett's Fire Rescue Department received an upgraded ISO Class Rating 2. What is an ISO Class Rating 2, you ask? ISO stands for Insurance Services Office and is a New York-based advisory organization that serves the property and casualty insurance industry by providing inspection services, insurance coverage form development, and statistical services. Based on the ISO recommendation, the Texas State Fire Marshal's Office upgraded the City of Rowlett's ISO Class Rating from 3 to 2. This ISO Class 2 rating helps taxpayers with their insurance rates, bringing reduced homeowner premiums to Rowlett residents. In the end, it saves you money. The City of Rowlett joins an elite group across the country sharing this rating, and only 659 fire departments nationwide have this exclusive ISO Class 2 rating. Thanks go to the Rowlett Fire Rescue for continued service and speedy response times. And you may have noticed a new face over at the fire department. Our new fire chief, Neil Howard, took over as the head of Rowlett's Fire Rescue on November 4, 2013. Chief Howard previously served the City of McKinney for 31 years, and we are very fortunate to have him in our city after a nationwide search. One of my favorite departments in the city is our public library. There's always something going on at the Rowlett Public Library. And if you don't have a Rowlett Public Library card, I encourage you to stop by this magnificent community resource on Main Street and pick one up. Recently, the Texas State Library Archives Commission sent official notification announcing that the library has been accredited and is a fully qualified member of the Texas Library System for 2014. The library is also eligible to apply for competitive grant programs administered by the State Library. Our library is always moving forward and adapting to the ever-changing technology, all in the service for you, the Rowlett citizen. And the Rowlett Animal Shelter continues to amaze us with a live release rate of over 90%, when the national average is around 30%. If you're considering adding a pet to your family, please consider our animal shelter. Please adopt. This year, our level of volunteerism remained extremely high, and we couldn't do it without you, our volunteers. In fiscal year 2013, more than 23,378 hours of volunteerism occurred, which is equivalent to 11.39 full-time employees at a savings to the taxpayer of more than $527,000. Wow! We appreciate your support, and we couldn't maintain our current service levels without you, the volunteer. Thank you. The community came together on October 30th, and we held a huge National Night Out partnership with our police department and neighborhood crime watch groups. What an event it was. What a great way to get out and meet your neighbors. The council staff and I always enjoy the opportunity to get out into the community and meet you in your neighborhood. This year we had 19 neighborhoods participate in the National Night Out, our best year ever. And speaking of safety, Rowlett was named the 19th safest city in Texas. It doesn't get much better than that. Home and community safety expert SafeWise paired data from the most recent FBI Crime in the U.S. report with their own research to create a comprehensive list of the top 50 safest cities in Texas with 20,000 residents and more. And they found Rowlett to be the 19th safest city in Texas. Along with the nominal crime rate in Rowlett, they found that this, in their words, the stunning suburb of Dallas is family-friendly and believes in supporting its small business owners. They went on to say that Rowlett is an educated community with over 30% of the adult population holding a bachelor's degree or higher. A huge congratulations go to the men and women of the Rowlett Police Department. Thanks for keeping us safe with 5-minute response times. That's just amazing. With all these awards and accolades, Rowlett is drawing some national attention and some new citizens, and we're going to be ready. Rowlett's Economic Development Department is working behind the scenes to make sure that we keep growing in the right way. 2014 will be the year for the start of many development projects. There are continued planning efforts with Realize Rowlett 2020 and the North Shore Master Planning Initiative. Some examples of businesses who are under construction or nearing completion in 2014 include Unleashed by Petco, our Main Street Events Center, which is the new home for Actor, our community theater, CVS Pharmacy, Dunkin' Donuts, Discount Tire, and Waterview Plaza. And there's over $100 million in private investment that is either in the permit process phase or about to begin construction. Those include the new neighborhood residential development called the Homestead at Liberty Grove, Phase 1, a Walmart neighborhood market, the Lake Point Hospital expansion, and many, many more. Downtown Rowlett is transforming into a transit-oriented development with the DART Blue Line extension. And we're going to see significant interest with private investment. The City of Rowlett was awarded a $2.5 million grant from our downtown area by the North Central Texas Council of Governments. This grant will go towards street construction, intersection improvements, pedestrian amenities, and landscaping downtown. All of these new amenities will make us more attractive to developers and promotes a walkable community. The grant improvements are scheduled to be completed by July 2014, hopefully in time for the fireworks on Main, which will bring us to our next topic. We've had a lot of fun in Rowlett this year. Our Downtown Special Events series brings the community together, and it shows our visitors and guests what they're missing by not living in Rowlett. We held our Movies on Main, the Memorial Day ceremony with Touch-a-Truck, an Easter egg hunt with over 20,000 candy-filled eggs. But the crown jewel of our events was our Fireworks on Main event. Motown legend Mary Wilson of the Supremes performed prior to the annual fireworks display. We had visitors from across the Metroplex join us, many of them taking advantage of the DART light rail for the very first time in Rowlett. It was great seeing downtown Main Street almost at capacity. But 2013 had its challenges as well. In June, the Kids Kingdom Playground in Pecan Grove Park had to be removed after an independent safety inspection deemed it to be unsafe for use and recommended its replacement. The council then came to a consensus to allocate $100,000 toward the cost to build a new playground and replace Kids Kingdom. Efforts to rebuild Kids Kingdom continue today. The community has rallied around this cause and organized fundraising efforts all over Rowlett. You may have noticed the donation thermometer signs around town that look like this. If you're able to, please donate to this great cause. A big challenge for Rowlett in the state of Texas is the continued drought conditions. Rowlett went to Stage 3 water restrictions in May and has remained there. And unfortunately, we will remain there for the foreseeable future. The North Texas Municipal Water District pipeline should go online very soon. And while that doesn't negate the drought or the lack of rainfall, it only addresses the zebra mussel issue. The City of Rowlett faces declining revenues due to the fact that we're unable to sell water and we're required to purchase in accordance with the North Texas Municipal Water District contract. It's a serious issue that we'll be dealing with, and in the very near future, the City Council will be addressing. We ask for your continued water conservation efforts, and I'm proud to say that Rowlett's done a great job with its conservation. I almost want to put my earmuffs on to talk about this next segment. It's become known as Ice-mageddon 2013. On Thursday, December 5th through Sunday, December 8th, the DFW area was hit by one of the most severe ice storms in the past 30 years. Like many other area cities, the City of Rowlett was greatly impacted by the storm event. At one point, there were more than 14 sewer lift stations without power, 8 traffic signals were out, and 1 elevated water tank was offline. In addition to that, there were numerous ice-related issues on roadways, public parking areas, and city facilities, along with downed trees and limbs all over the community and in roadways all over the city. In response to the storm, all departments that comprise the City of Rowlett came together to provide citizens safe passage on roads, a warm place to go if their power was out, and ensure the water utility lift stations stayed online, providing seamless sanitary sewer service. The Public Works Department had 43 essential emergency response staff members who worked in 12-hour shifts throughout the storm event, addressing 93 requests for service, 43 of which were for tree limb removal from streets. It took extraordinary teamwork and coordination to keep things moving. During this event, the police and fire rescue staff processed over 300 calls for assistance. These included vehicle accidents, person and animal welfare checks, health emergencies, fires, motorist assistance, traffic stops, and removed downed trees from roadways. The city's Emergency Operations Center was activated in case the storm escalated and caused more damage. Our CERT volunteers are the best. CERT stands for Community Emergency Response Team. Those volunteers were an integral part of the city's response. They volunteered over 60 hours with assisting with debris removal and providing safety perimeters for downed power lines. If you see a CERT member, thank them for all their commitment and dedication to our community. When disaster strikes, CERT is always there for us. The Parks and Recreation Department staff moved an excessive amount of downed tree limbs from major trees and medians, ensuring that police and fire rescue had a clear path for responding to emergencies. In addition, the parks employees assisted Public Works in clearing the neighborhoods. What a team effort it was. Although the city facilities were officially closed, the community center was reopened as a 24-hour convenience center, a place for citizens to come and get warm, sleep, and even charge up their cell phones due to the extended power outages blanketing the city. Staff and CERT volunteers were on hand to provide a welcoming smile and safe environment. This massive weather event and response proved once again what an amazing staff in all departments that we have across the city of Rowlett. It's a city staff that was recognized through the City of Rowlett's Above and Beyond program. 115 City of Rowlett employees were recognized for their above and beyond performance and specific actions. Recognitions were submitted by their peers, citizens, and supervisors during 2013. Actions include advocating for the customer, providing great follow-through on issues, finding a long-term solution for customers, being proactive, displaying teamwork beyond what their job requires, and exhibiting pride in the City of Rowlett through their actions. So in closing, I'm proud to report that the state of our city is safe, fiscally stable, and growing. We're emerging from the recession as a vibrant, world-class city that is attracting new residents and businesses. Through the hard work and determination of the Rowlett City Council, city employees, Rowlett businesses, volunteers, and Rowlett citizens, we have turned our home into the city it is today. That's what makes Rowlett so great. Today, I stand before you proud and humbled to be your mayor. It is truly an honor to serve the city. I would also like to acknowledge my family. I want to thank them for all the sacrifices they make each day so that I am able to serve. Thank you for standing with me. We have entered into this public office as a family, and I could not be more proud. As we look into the future, fiscal year 2015 will be a pivotal year. Thanks to our very strategic financial stewardship, the city has managed to maintain its current tax rate since 2006. However, due to the declining property valuations and a loss of property tax revenues, a tax increase will have to be considered for fiscal year 2015 in order to maintain the current service levels that you, our citizens, have come to expect. We will continue to educate you about the service levels and our financial challenges in the months to come. In closing, it's truly a great time to live in Rowlett. Thanks to all of you, our citizens and staff, that have participated in the State of the City video. Thanks for watching, and God bless the City of Rowlett.
Hi, my name is Tanya Hartline, Public Services Manager at the Rowlett Public Library. February is Love Your Library Month, so come by the library this month to see all the reasons to love your library. Whatever you're passionate about, whether it's cooking, travel, films, or just reading for fun, there's sure to be something for you. You might even discover some new treasures, such as databases for research, music, foreign films, or a program where you can connect with others who have a common interest. So stop by the library this February for even more reasons to love your library.
Improvements are being made to the drainage channel which services Springfield East and Springfield Estates subdivisions. The project has 72 homes in Springfield East, just to the north of Springfield Estates, that drain into the channel. 90 homes in Springfield Estates B drain into the channel, and an additional 14 homes from Springfield Estates A. This includes the 24 homes that back up to the channel. A total of 176 homes drain into the channel. The project budget is $167,800 and the contract time is 150 days. The contract is approximately 15% complete.
Now it's time to check back with Todd and Amanda. Take it away, Todd.
And we're back. I'm in the kitchen with Amanda Mullaney. Amanda is our wellness coordinator for the City of Rowlett, and part of our New Year's resolution was eating healthy.
Yes.
So today I thought what we would do is put together one of my favorite recipes, and that's the chalupas, which are basically the tostados with, and we'll talk about some of the ingredients. We've got our lettuce, we've got our cilantro, we've got a little bit of minced garlic, we've got our purple onions, my favorite purple onions, we've got our tomatoes, we've got a few jalapenos, and of course we have our avocados. All very, very healthy ingredients, and of course we can't forget the tostados. let's start off with our guacamole. We've got several different steps here, but these meals are actually really easy and simple to prepare because a lot of times people come home from work and a lot of times it's what are we going to do for dinner? And so we're trying to come up with some healthy alternatives, but all of this stuff is very readily available to store. It literally within probably 10, maybe 15 minutes the most, you can have the entire meal prepared for your family.
That's perfect. Something quick, easy, and simple.
Absolutely. So let's start off with the avocados. Amanda, if you want to get those avocados, we're going to have you chop those up and we're going to make some guacamole. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. Okay. And then, of course, you have the dreaded pit. A lot of people hate that. So what I typically do is I will pop that right out. Just get a good handle on the knife and that comes right out. And then at that point, and I'll show you the squeezing method. If you don't want to use your spoon, you can certainly do that as well. You actually just pinch the avocado and it has the same effect as that. All right, now the next thing we're going to do, Amanda, is we're going to chop up some tomatoes. These are aroma tomatoes, and what we're going to do is we're going to chop those into smaller pieces. So just slice those down if you want. You can use your serrated knife, it's perfect. Okay. All right, perfect. So what we're going to do is make sure that they're chopped up real well. Okay, and then what we're going to do is we're going to scoop these directly into our dish there, just like that.
Do we need more?
No, we are perfect. Okay, now from there we're going to add a little bit of salt. Don't add too much salt. Of course, we're trying to keep our sodium level down. And then, of course, the pepper is a great important part. Now, I use sea salt. Sea salt, actually, I like the texture of it. It holds up a little bit better. And I find that you can use a little bit less than you would traditionally use on that. All right, at that point, then, we take a chopped up onion. I've taken the liberty of course, preparing these already. So we add those in there. And this is really to taste. It depends on what you want in there for that. We use a little bit of jalapeno. The jalapeno is a really good choice. Again, it's really to taste depending on how spicy that you want that. So we're going to add a few of those in there as well.
Not too spicy.
Not too spicy. And then I like cilantro. Cilantro is a really good choice for that as well, and we're going to put that in there. And you can dice it up really fine. It's really up to you. So we're going to put some of that in there as well. Okay. All right. And then finally, the last part that we're going to do is we're going to put a little bit of minced garlic in there. Adds a nice flavor to that as well. And then if you have a party or you're trying to prepare something a little bit longer term, which means you have guests coming over, I would definitely add a lime into there as well because it helps preserve the avocado itself. Now at this point, we're going to chop that up, Amanda, so just keep stirring that and mix that together. Okay, the second step is actually preparing the sour cream sauce. Now, sour cream, of course, is not healthy, as we talked about that, but of course, it's all about moderation. And so what I typically do is we prepare this, and then we actually drizzle it over the top of the tostada, so we just add some additional flavor to it. So for those that aren't big sour cream fans, you don't have to use the sour cream at all. So what we're going to do is we use about a cup of sour cream. We stir that up, Amanda, if you want to stir that in there, that would be great. And what we're going to do is, in addition to that, we're going to add a little bit of the garlic, a little bit of minced garlic in there. And then we're going to add some salt and pepper in that as well. And then what I do is I typically add just a little bit of cream into that just to help break that up. There we go. So stir that in because we actually are making a sauce. Now you can use chicken stock if you want to use chicken stock. There's a lot of different ways to make a sour cream sauce, but this is certainly one of them. So what we want to do is let that simmer down. Now as our sour cream sauce is starting to warm up, we've actually going to start our chicken. So we've taken the liberty of the chicken. This is just over the counter. You can buy it at any of the grocery stores. This is pre-cooked. It's ready to go. You simply heat it up. So what we're going to do is we drop it into our pan. It's as simple as just letting that cook and letting that warm up. A lot of times I'll typically put a little bit of water in there just to help keep it moist as it's cooking, and that's pretty much done at this point too. So we're gonna turn that off. Our sour cream sauce is just about ready. And our final step is actually to just put the tostadas in the oven, and very, very simple. Put it on 350. I already have it preheated. We put those in for just about maybe 5 or 10 minutes to make sure that they're hot, and then you're ready to go. All right, we've just pulled the tostadas out of the oven, so they're nice and toasty. So what we're going to do is actually prepare one of those. Very, very simple. You take your base, of course, which is the tostado. There are a lot of different ways to make this, but I typically put the guacamole and spread the guacamole around. So why don't you go ahead and do that. And you can put on as thick or as thin as you'd like to do that. And as you're doing that, I'll go ahead and get the chicken. Okay, so we've got our guacamole on our base, and what we're gonna do is just add some chicken according to your taste, depending on how hungry that you are, but we'll just put those on top. Some people prefer to boil the chicken, and that certainly is a good taste. You can shred it if you'd like to do it that way. This makes it a little bit easier if you just use the strips, because they're already cooked and ready to go, and all you're doing is heating them up.
But you have the option of a rotisserie chicken. Or
You could absolutely do that as well. Yeah, that's a good choice. And then finally, what we're gonna do is we're gonna add our onions and of course our lettuce, and that's to taste. So you can put some lettuce on there. Put as much there as you'd like, and then any salt or pepper according to taste. And our final ingredient is actually going to be the sour cream sauce. And again, this is really a matter of taste. You want to put it on top, you don't have to put it on top, but you basically would just drizzle some of that over the top of that. So why don't you try to do that if you want, and just drizzle that up. And you can make this a little bit more liquidy or thick, depends on how your particular flavor profile is.
Looks good. Perfect.
And there you have it. Very easy. It's a chalupa. Very, very simple and easy to make. Takes less, probably what did we spend? 10 maybe 15 minutes at the most, so that was because of the commentary that we've added in here. But it's a great family meal. It's something simple. And what does that mean? When we talk about 20 to 30 grams of protein, is that a chicken breast itself? Or what actually makes up protein? Give me some examples.
Well, typically the size of meat is about the deck of cards, and that can give you anywhere from 20 to 30 grams of protein, just depending on the size. You can get protein from beans, your dairy products, any eggs, the milk, anything like that as well. It doesn't have to be just meat. But since we added on the chicken, or if you wanted to do ground beef or fish on top of that as well, you would meet that requirement of 20 to 30 grams of protein.
So what do you think? Simple and easy?
Simple and easy.
Absolutely. Let's see how tasty it is, shall we?
Cheers.
Cheers.
Really good.
Very, very good.
Great flavor in the guac, too.
You did a really good job preparing it. And you know what's really nice too? It's just you can just taste the different flavors between the cilantro and a little bit of jalapeno, not too much in there, the onions and the chicken. And what a great choice, huh?
Yeah.
And
Good
healthy.
job.
Thanks.
Thank you.
So from our kitchen to yours, bon appetit.
February is Love Your Library Month. Visit the Rowlett Public Library this month to show you love your library. Whatever your reasons for loving our library, personal enjoyment, intellectual stimulation, children's books and activities, research materials for school, home, or work, or just access to our computers and the internet, and more, we invite you to join us in celebrating those reasons. The Rowlett Public Library is located at 3900 Main Street. Swing on by and show them your love. Here's the library's schedule of events presented by Lauren Maxon.
Hi, I'm Lauren Maxon from the Rowlett Public Library, located at 3900 Main Street in downtown Rowlett. There are lots of reasons to love your library in February. During Love Your Library Month, you can celebrate with us by getting a free library card from the Rowlett Public Library. Contact the library at 972-412-6161 for information about how to obtain your free library card. Celebrate the joy of reading with your children by attending free story times. Monday mornings are for the young and the restless, babies ages 0 to 2. Wednesday mornings are Giggle Wiggle story times for toddlers. Preschoolers have their own story times on Friday mornings with Shake, Rattle, and Read. And for grade school children, the Rowlett Public Library has a primetime book club at 4 p.m. on Thursdays. Everyone is invited to wear jammies to curl up and listen to a wonderful sleepy time story on Thursday evenings at 7 p.m. with Pajama Story Time. Celebrate with your family on the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd Saturdays in February with movie and popcorn, crafts, and games. The Saturday movie this month will be the G-rated Romeo and Juliet, Shakespeare's immortal story of love and romance, and Garden Gnomes? Check the library's calendar or website for more information. Also in February, the library will feature winners of the Black History Month bookmark contest. Kids are invited to design an original bookmark celebrating Black History Month, and the winning bookmarks are available to use in your favorite book throughout February. Celebrate as the Lake Cities Chorale presents Songs and Spirituals celebrating Black History Month on Saturday, February 1st at 2 p.m. in the meeting room. Come to the library to hear beautiful voices singing beautiful music. The very popular Silver Cinema returns on Tuesday, February 3rd at 2 p.m. in the meeting room. This month's treat is The Love Triangle of Casablanca, featuring Humphrey Bogart and Ingrid Bergman. Free and with popcorn too. Celebrate the wonderful world of Lewis Carroll at the Mad Hatter Tea Party on Saturday, February 15th at 2 p.m. in the meeting room. Costumes are encouraged. Cakes, crafts, and craziness will be served up for free to all ages. Need more information? Check our website or call the library at 972-412-6161. Come and join us to celebrate Love Your Library Month at the Rowlett Public Library.
Hi everybody, I'm Brian Begner, the Fire Marshal of the City of Rowlett. Today I'm here with Captain Chris Inslee, who's a firefighter with us. He's been here for 22 years. Captain Inslee is going to simulate how to do CPR on adult and child. February is National Heart Awareness Month. American Red Cross recommends that everybody should learn how to do CPR. Captain Inslee will help us demonstrate a short version of doing CPR. Captain Inslee, glad to have you here today.
Thanks for having me, Brian, and I really am glad I'm here to teach the public a very important part of CPR, where in case they need it for family or friends, they'll know what to do in that case. What we're going to go over today is adult, child, and actually infant also, to kind of cover all the bases. One thing American Heart Association has done is they've came out with a compression-only CPR.
Okay.
You know, because the biggest thing in the past was always that nobody wanted to do mouth-to-mouth, understandably so. So what we've realized is compressions is the most important part anyhow. So if we can get people to at least do the compression-only CPR, the survival rate is increased quite a bit.
Okay.
So what we're going to talk about at this point is a adult and child, which we're going to use this mannequin for.
Okay, so let's put this out of the way for right now.
Move the infant there. So for an adult and child, what you're going to do is first come up to that person, see if they're unresponsive or not. So how we do that is we shake and shout. So go ahead and shake and shout.
Hey, you awake? Hey, you okay?
Well, when they don't respond, that's when we're going to immediately call for help. Then we're going to come back, look real briefly, see if they're breathing. So you're going to look at their chest, mouth, and nose. Is it obviously moving?
Okay, I don't see anything moving.
Okay, so at this point, we're going to start our compression-only CPR.
Okay.
And what we do is we put the heel of our hand in the center of their chest.
Okay. Now, is there any way I measure it to make sure I'm in the center of their chest?
Just center of the chest, the best you can judge that. And then you put your other hand on top of it.
Like that?
Straighten out your arms.
Okay.
Use your body weight.
Okay.
And you're going to try to do 100 compressions a minute.
So it's 1, 2, 3.
Well, what they actually say is if we keep up with the song, Staying Alive, we do about 100 compressions a minute.
Okay.
So while you're doing that, in your head, hum or make, go along with that song, and you're going to keep a beat of about 100 compressions a minute. So go ahead and try that.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Perfect.
6, 7.
And what you do is you continue that now until either you notice the person breathing, and if you do, always roll an unconscious person breathing on their side. That keeps that airway open.
All right.
But if you don't, you're going to continue those compressions until we get here.
Okay. Got a question for you. I'm here by myself. This is a family member. They pass out, and I yell, help, but I only know there's only me. How can I notify? What should I do then?
Well, at that point, you'll get either a home phone or a cell phone and call 911.
Okay.
Now remember, if it's a home phone, through our dispatch system, it's a lot easier for them to locate where you might be.
Okay.
If it's your cell phone, you're going to be very specific because they're not going to be able to know where you're at by just calling 911.
Okay. So while I'm doing compressions then, I can push 911 on my cell phone or my home phone, and as I'm doing compressions, tell them where I am and what I'm doing at this time, right?
Exactly, while you're given the care that's needed.
Oh, excellent.
The compression-only CPR. So that's for a child or an adult, so that's anybody over the age of 1.
Anybody, because so it's 100 compressions.
100 compressions a minute.
If we're just staying alive, or whatever song helps you keep at 100 beats per minute.
Exactly.
Okay.
And you continue that until you either notice them breathing or until the EMS gets there.
Okay. Well,
okay.
All right. So that's for adult and child over 1.
That's
anybody from age 1 or greater.
Exactly.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
So we'll move this mannequin out of the way and let's put the infant mannequin up there.
All right.
An infant's considered less than 1.
Okay.
So if you have an infant, same thing, possibly unconscious, you want to confirm that they're truly unresponsive.
Okay.
Well, of course, we don't want to shake and shout an infant because we
No.
could cause a head or neck injury. So what you're going to do at that point is tap their foot. So tap their foot. Hey, hey, hey.
Hey, baby, you awake? You
Very
awake?
good. If they don't respond,
Okay.
again, you're going to call 911, just as you said for the child and adult.
Okay.
Put the phone there next to the infant.
All right.
Call 911, come back, look to see if they're breathing, look at their mouth, nose, or chest.
Okay. Now I don't see anything.
Okay, at that point, you're going to take 2 fingers just below their nipple line along that breastbone,
Okay.
and you're going to do compressions that way on an infant. Because, of course, an infant's too small to use the heel of our hand.
Okay.
And what we're going to do is, again, do 100 a minute.
Okay.
So
Same song or whatever song
whatever
down-
song you want to,
Okay.
a
So
fast
1,
beat
2,
song.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9,
And you
10.
continue that till we get here, the
Okay.
EMS, or until you notice the infant breathing.
Okay.
If you notice the infant's breathing, you can stop, roll them on their side to keep that airway open, and wait till we come in.
Okay.
So what it boils down to is no matter what age they are, if they're unconscious, make sure they're unconscious, then call 911 if they don't respond, come
Okay.
back, check, see if they're breathing,
Okay.
and then start compressions if needed at a rate of 100 a minute.
Okay.
And just by doing that, you'll make a big difference in the possibility of them surviving.
Okay. Well, let me ask you this, Chris. Years ago, if I had an infant that was choking, they always said pick the baby up and turn it over like this and have it straddle your arm like you're carrying a loaf of bread and slowly do this. Is that still?
And it's still exactly the same. Just
Okay.
always remember that you're going to angle the baby down.
Angle the baby down,
And you're going
okay.
to do 5 back blows. So just as you're doing, a very important step is supporting that head and neck,
Right,
right?
okay.
Because again, the head and neck is real flexible in an infant, so you
Right.
really have to support that. But
Okay.
angle down,
Angle down.
5 back blows. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Okay.
And then you're going to flip them over, and you're going to do 5 chest thrusts. Same location as a compression,
Okay.
just below that nipple line, and you're going to compress the
And,
chest.
and I'd keep the head tilted down
Still
also?
keep the head
Okay.
tilted down. And that's very important for an infant because the chances of doing CPR on an infant's pretty slim, but unfortunately the chances of an infant choking is a lot higher.
Okay.
So just by doing those 5 back blows and 5 chest thrusts, you could save an infant's life if that infant's choking. Now remember, somebody that's choking, that means they're not talking,
Right.
they're not coughing, they're not making any noise. If
Right.
somebody's coughing, encourage them to cough. But if they're not making any noise,
And
that's
they're
when you
turning blue.
intervene.
And they're turning blue here, and but the
Exactly.
baby will be the same way.
Exactly.
Now, on a baby, use your little finger to kind of sweep the mouth out just
If
to make sure.
you see the object,
Uh-huh.
you sweep it out.
Okay.
Used to be we did blind finger sweeps.
Right.
Now only if we see the object do we put our finger in there to get the
Okay.
object.
Very good. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
So, this is real good basic information, but what I definitely suggest to the viewers
Okay.
is if they want more in depth of a class,
Right.
also a class that involves the AED that are, AEDs are in several of our public buildings, also throughout the city. What I suggest is they take a first aid and CPR class.
Okay.
The fire department offers that quarterly.
Right. And now we have one coming up on February 8th.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
We
And
do have one coming up, and there's still a few spots there, so if you're interested in that, then call.
Okay.
If that one's full, we try to do them quarterly, so there'll be another one coming soon.
Okay.
And they call 972-412-6230.
Okay.
And I'm sure it'll be on the bottom of the screen for them. Call the secretary there at the fire department. She'll let them know when the next class is, or at least get them on the list to notify them when the next class is scheduled.
Okay.
Another thing I suggest for all of our young listeners out there that babysits, we offer a babysitting class
Now, how
also.
often do you offer that class?
We try to do that quarterly also.
Okay.
It's a real good class for young people because not only do we cover CPR, obstructed airway, but also the first aid,
Okay.
but we cover home safety, cooking, if somebody comes to the door, if somebody calls, if they find things in the home that are dangerous,
Right.
it helps them handle all those situations. So any young person that babysits, I definitely suggest that. So
Chris, when you call in and you schedule for the adult CPR, child, infant, and AED class, I believe we have a $30 charge. Is that correct?
yes, sir, there is a $30 charge. What that includes is them getting a workbook and them getting a course completion card.
Okay.
You're not certified, but you get a course completion card from
All
the
right.
American Heart Association, and that's good for 2 years.
Okay.
American Heart suggests that you always take their class every 2 years to get refreshed. not only just because we tend to lose what we don't use,
Right.
but also in case any guideline changes in those.
Okay.
times, so.
And now, and our Safe Sitter class is quarterly, and it is, how much is that one?
I believe that one is $65.
Okay.
The secretary knows for sure
All right.
on that. So they can call and get that price and get their child registered.
Now, is that a whole day, a Saturday class, a nightly class, or what kind of class is that?
Well, the Safe Sitter class, it generally goes from about 9 to 3.
Okay.
And then the CPR class, it goes from about 8 to 12:30.
Okay.
Both of them are normally on Saturdays.
All right. Is there anything else you'd like to say to our citizens out there?
No, I just appreciate them watching, learning this basic CPR demonstration of compressions only. Again, if you at least do that, you'll save a life. But if you want more in depth, call us and we'll get you taken care of.
Captain Inslee, I appreciate you coming by this month for National Heart Awareness Month and it's demonstrating this for us.
Well, thanks for having me. Bye-bye.
Again, I appreciate Captain Inslee coming in this afternoon to help with this. If you have any additional questions, be sure to call 972-412-6230. That is the administration office, and we will see what we can get you scheduled up for the next class. Again, I'm Brian Begner, your fire marshal. Have a good month.
Here's one of my favorites, the City of Rowlett's monthly financial report presented by Alan Gard, the Director of Financial Information Services. Take it away, Alan.
Hello, I'm Alan Gard, the Director of Financial and Information Services for the City of Rowlett, and welcome to this month's update of the City of Rowlett's monthly financial report. This report is provided as one element in the city's effort to ensure financial transparency for its citizens and policymakers. The Finance Department prepares the report and presents it to the City Council at a regular City Council meeting each month. While the presentation made at the Council meeting usually provides a high-level overview, the report itself is very detailed, providing information on each of the city's funds, key local, state, and national economic indicators, and dashboard information about the city's primary operating funds, major revenue sources, and overall fund performance. The report provided to Council in January includes financial information through November, the second month of the city's fiscal year. On the revenue side of the equation, across all funds, the city has earned or received $10.2 million in fiscal year 2014. This amount is 12.5% of the approved operating budget of $81.4 million and is 2.1% more than the forecast projected through the month of November. Expenditures have totaled $10.9 million through the same time period. This amount is 13.2% of the approved operating budget of $82.7 million and is 5.4% lower than forecast. Based on these figures, the net shortfall from operations is $700,000, which is $800,000 better than expected at this point in the fiscal year. This month, we want to highlight the city's general fund, including its major sources of revenue. After the first 2 months of the fiscal year, general fund revenues are $3.2 million, which is $100,000 or 3.3% higher than expected. General fund expenditures total $5.3 million, which is $527,000 lower than expected, or 9.1%. Major revenue sources in the general fund include property taxes, sales tax, and franchise fees. The majority of the property taxes are received in December and January. Sales tax is received by the city each month and is remitted to the city by the State Comptroller's Office. Franchise fees are paid by electric, natural gas, cable, and telecommunication utilities to the city, generally on a quarterly basis. Natural gas franchise fees are paid once per year to the city. These are paid to the city for the privilege of access to the city's right-of-way. Of general fund revenues, property taxes make up 47%, sales tax 16%, and franchise fees 9%. The three revenue sources make up more than 72% of the general fund's resources. You can find more information about the November monthly financial report, as well as other useful financial information at the city's website, www.rowlett.com. If you have any questions, please contact me, Alan Gard, the Director of Financial and Information Services, at agard@rowlett.com or 972-412-6288.
Hi, I'm Phil Barrett, Tech Services Supervisor here at the Rowlett Public Library. Today we're going to talk about installing and removing programs from your computer. Now, installing a program is actually pretty straightforward. All you'll need really is either a disk from a program you buy at the store or an executable file. What an executable file is a file you'll download, like if you buy something online from like Best Buy or Newegg or Amazon, one of those. And instead of them sending you a disk, they'll send you a little file that you'll click on your computer, and that'll then install the program. Just a few. Okay.
No, it's fine.
And just a word of warning, executable files are probably the most common way you get viruses on your computer. So when you're getting that file, you want to make sure it comes from a reputable source, like a vendor you're familiar with, or a place like download.com. That's a really common, safe place to get those files. You don't want to get it from just random places on the internet because a lot of times it'll have malware or viruses or something that's going to cause trouble for you. Also, you want to make sure you're getting the right kind of file for your computer. So if you have a PC, download the PC version like Windows or Linux. If you've got a Mac, then download the Mac version. If you get the wrong version, worst case scenario, it may actually mess up your computer. Best case, it just won't work. So be careful when you're downloading that file. So now what I like to do is just install a file on the computer here to kind of show you what it looks like. So you see here are examples of some executable files, and each of these is a different program that you can click on to run to install a new program. So I'm going to click on Spybot. That's a handy spyware program. And you'll have this, do you want to run this file? Now, I'm installing this on Windows 7. Depending on which operating system, it'll look a little bit differently, but each one will have a similar prompt, like, are you sure you want to run this? Something like that. So run. And then another safety prompt. And then the first step is usually some kind of language, depending on what the program is. I'm going to install it in English. And then you just click next. And then here, this part varies for each program. Spybot is a free program, but they do try to solicit donations for people to, help them keep developing the program and make it better. So I'm just going to leave it on personal use, decide later. And then, again, the wording on this is a little bit different. This one, it's asking basically if you want just a basic install or an advanced install. This, I want to be protected without having to attend to it myself. That's a basic install, where the program does pretty much what it wants to install. If you want the more control, more feedback, more responsibility, that's the advanced install. And if you were to select that one, then as it's installing, you can choose different options. If you're kind of new to all this, it's probably better just to do the basic install to begin with. And then if there's something you really want to change, usually you can go in system options and change it later on. So we'll just leave it at that basic one. Okay, and there's usually a license agreement. And these are sometimes pretty short and easy to read, and sometimes all kinds of stuff. So that's kind of up to you if you want to read every word or just accept that it's okay. I guess proceed at your own risk. All right, and the last screen is going to be a ready to install, final, are you sure? And up until this point, nothing has been installed on the computer. So I could click cancel now, and then nothing would happen. It would just close. But since I want to go ahead and install this, I'll click install, and then you'll see a little progress bar. And that's pretty much it as far as installing a program. Now, again, with Spybot, it's got its own particulars, but any program you install is going to follow this same general pattern. You click on the executable, it'll ask you a couple questions, you click next, next, okay, and then the program's installed on your computer. Okay. Now, whenever you install a program, you always want to make sure to test it to make sure it actually works. So here we've got Open Start Center. So we'll go ahead and click Finish. And see here I've got the program. I can do a system scan or file scan or whatever. And then, so click on System Scan. Okay, and it looks like it worked. So Now I've opened it, I've tested one of the functions, I'm fairly certain that this works now. It doesn't mean there won't be issues later on, but usually if there's a problem with the program install, it's something that'll show up the first couple times that you run it. So always run it right away to make sure there's not an issue that you have to fix. Now, uninstalling programs is usually pretty simple, though sometimes it can be tricky. What you'll want to do is go to the Start menu, go to your Control panel, and one of your options will be for Programs. So here we've got Uninstall a Program. And whenever you find this, it's going to populate a list of all of the programs that are installed on there. So you can look at this list and have the name and then the publisher and when it's installed. This can be really handy if you install a new program and you find maybe a couple weeks later your computer's acting funny, it's not doing what it's supposed to do. The culprit might be that program you installed. So you can go back and pull this list up and sort it by when programs were installed. And you can look at the programs you've installed in the last month or 2 months or what have you, and that can be a handy way to track down the program that may be causing you trouble. But so once we're on this list, so I want to go ahead and take SpyBot back off. You can click on that, and then uninstall, and then are you sure, and then yes. And if you're having trouble installing or uninstalling a program, remember an option that's always open to you is to just search on the internet, do a Google or Bing search for that particular problem. If it's something that's common, that someone else has already dealt with, there might very well be an easy solution there. They can take you through step by step if you find it on, a forum on the product website or something like that. And also, too, I want to stress one more time that be very, very careful with executable files if you're not sure where they're coming from, because that is by far the most common way that viruses get on there. And viruses can sometimes just be a little bit of hassle or sometimes cause you a whole lot of trouble. So just be careful whenever you're installing something new. For more information on this and other tech topics, please visit us at the Rowlett Public Library. Thank you.
And we're back. Did you know that the Spring Lakeside Leisure is available now at the Rowlett Community Center and online? Inside you'll find the latest programs, classes, and special events that the Rowlett Parks and Recreation Department has to offer. You're sure to find something right for you. Here's the Rowlett Community Center staff with a schedule of events for February.
It's February, which means it's a time for us to turn our thoughts to the sweethearts that make our lives special. The Rowlett Parks and Recreation Department has several programs taking place in February that you can participate in while spending time with the sweethearts in your life, including a very special evening for fathers and daughters. Pottery painting is a fun and relaxing family program where parents can bring their kids to learn all about art and pottery. We will provide all the tools, including the pottery, paint, brushes, stencils, and sponges. This class will include a total of 4 art projects per month. The fee is $80 and classes in February will take place on Thursdays starting on February the 6th. Glass Fusion is a fun program for teens interested in learning the basics of glass fusion. Participants will design and assemble pretty much everything from pendants, keychains, earrings, magnets, night lights, sushi bowls, coasters, and much more. Participants will be using pre-cut pieces of glass to create their own unique design. There will be a total of 4 different glass fusion projects in this class. The February session will run from February 6th until February 27th on Thursdays from 4 to 5 p.m. The fee is $80. Attention parents, while we know you love your children, we also understand that you and your significant other need some time alone on Valentine's Day. Kids Night Out is offered on the second Friday of each month from 6 to 8:30 p.m. and in February it just happens to fall on Valentine's Day. At Kids Night Out, children ages 5 to 12 will experience a high-energy evening full of Lego entertainment that will include pizza, games, projects, and of course, loads of Lego bricks for all the creativity and building their minds can imagine. You'll feel great knowing that your kids are in a safe and enriching environment, and the kids will have so much fun they'll beg for you to come back every week. The fee is $20. Looking to get your child involved in basketball? Basketball Hot Shots is a perfect program for you to test the waters with them. Let your child become an all-star while having fun. They will learn the basics of shooting, passing, dribbling, and defense. This is a 4-week class that will run on Thursdays from February 20th until March 13th, on Thursdays from 6:30 to 7:15 p.m. The fee is $35. Skyhawks Sports will be offering Skyhawks basketball on Thursdays starting on February 28th. The program will run until April 11th on Thursdays from 5:30 to 6:30 p.m. This fun, skill-intensive program is designed with the beginning to intermediate player in mind. Each day will start with the skill of the day and progress into drills and games. After a week of passing, shooting, dribbling, and rebounding, your child will show why this is one of our most popular programs. The fee is $60.
Attention athletes ages 18 and up. The Rowlett Parks and Recreation Department will be offering adult athletic leagues this spring for men's basketball, men's flag football, and co-ed volleyball. Grab your friends and join us for a little fun and friendly competition. Registration for all adult leagues will be taking place until February 23rd. The Men's Open Basketball League will run on Mondays, and the new Men's Church League will run on Thursday nights. The cost is $350 per team. Men's flag football will run on Saturdays in March and April at Springfield Park, and the fee is $250 per team. Co-ed volleyball will run on Friday nights in March and April, and the fee is $200 per team. All leagues will include an 8-game season with the top 4 teams making it to the playoffs. Championship t-shirts will be awarded to the top 4 teams. Sign your team up today in person at the Rowlett Community Center located at 5300 Main Street. Girls Youth Volleyball registration is still going on and will be until February 23rd. This league is coordinated for girls ages 7 to 14. Practices will begin in March and league play will take place on Saturdays in March, April, and May. Teams will play 7 regular season games and will participate in a single elimination playoff tournament at the end of the season. The league fee is $65 for community center members, $70 for Rowlett residents, and $80 for non-residents. A league jersey is included in the fee. Special events. Attention, dads of Rowlett. The Little Sweetheart Dance will be taking place on Saturday, February 8th from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. at the Rowlett Community Center. This is the perfect opportunity to capture that once-in-a-lifetime moment with your special little girl. The theme this year is Western. So get out that cowboy hat and get your daughter in her boots. It's time for some law-breaking, good old-fashioned fun. This year, Miss Texas will be on hand taking pictures and signing autographs. There are still some spots available and tickets are $40 per couple. The fee for each additional daughter is $15. The price will include a keepsake photo, light refreshments, and an all-around special night for both dads and daughters. Space is limited, so reserve your spot today.
At this point, I'd like to go over some upcoming dates. The council meetings will be on February 4th and 18th this month. Additional City Council work session will be held on February 11th. And the Planning and Zoning meetings will be on February 11th and the 25th. Saturday, February 8th will be a busy day for Rowlett. First up will be the standard first aid CPR class presented by Rowlett Fire Rescue. On Saturday, February 8th from 8 a.m. to 12:30 p.m., the cost is $30. The American Heart Association standard first aid CPR class is open to anyone 16 years or older. Classes are limited to 12 students who will receive a book and a 2-year course completion card. Space is limited, so for more information or to register, call Fire Administration at 972-412-6230. Then, as we talked about earlier, the Rowlett Animal Shelter is holding a pet adopt-a-thon on Saturday, February 8th from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. at 4402 Industrial Street. You can reach them for more details at 972-412-6219. Then the day wraps up with the Little Sweethearts Daddy-Daughter Dance, also again on Saturday, February 8th. Fathers and daughters will dance their way through this special evening created just for them. Tickets for this annual event sell out fast, so get yours today. Tickets are $40 per couple, $15 per additional daughter. It includes a keepsake photo and light refreshments. Stop by the Rowlett Community Center today or call 972-412-6170 to get your tickets. Saturday games at the library on Saturday, February 15th. Families are invited to join us on the third Saturday of every month for a free program for all ages and to play games in the meeting room from 10:30 a.m. to noon. Then you can check out books, DVDs, CDs, and more at your Rowlett Public Library, free and open to all ages. In closing, Thanks to all of you who have tuned into today's program to stay in touch with your city government. We'd love to hear from you. Please email us or call us with suggestions. Thanks to our communication staff who assisted with today's broadcast. We look forward to seeing you again next month. Until that time, thanks for joining us on another edition of Rowlett on the Water, on the Move.